My heart pumping all day long. Get me the morning when darkness comes. My heart, ooh. I'll bear it, it takes so long to mend. It's harder to lean on this shell of a man. You found love in the Lord, your family and your friends. Could you please pray for me that I can find the same within? My heart pumping all day long. When the evening comes, please stay strong. Give me the morning when darkness falls. My heart, I found victory in the Father's love from the day we wed. And those vows to hold true. Nothing's gonna tear me down until the day I'm dead. My heart belongs to you. I'm gonna pick my bones up and walk through the storm I made. I'm gonna head on home before it gets too late. I turn it upside down and be thankful for what he gave. I'm gonna pick my bones up and walk through the storm I made. I'm gonna hold on tight to you when it gets rough. I'm gonna lay down all my cards and call your bluff. Because the one thing in this moonlit room I trust is the beauty of your smile and the warmth inside your touch. Oh, there's nothing like a love, nothing like a love of a woman. The way she upside down, be thankful for what he gave. I'm gonna pick my bones up and walk through the storm I made. I'm gonna hold on tight to you when it gets rough. Yeah. I'm gonna lay down all my cards and call your bluff. Because the one thing in this moonlit room I trust is the beauty of your smile and the warmth inside your touch. Oh, there's nothing like love, nothing like love of a woman. The way she holds you tight, way she holds you tight when you need it most. It gives you just that little bit, just to keep on living. And that's when you find out what you're made of. That's when you find out. That's when you find out what you're made of. My heart is like a lighthouse, just trying to get you home. Your soul is like an anchor, just dragging you along. Pay no mind to what I'm saying. I've been drinking all day long. I just wanna hold you while we dance to this song. We were younger when we first laid eyes. I was walking up in heaven's skies. How about you? Did you feel it too? Don't believe in love at first sight. Now you make me wanna change my mind. How about you? Oh, how about you? My heart is like a lighthouse, just trying to get you home. Your soul is like an anchor, dragging you along. Pay no mind to what I say. I've been drinking all day long. I just wanna hold you while we dance to this song. trying to get you home. Your soul is like an anchor, just dragging you along. Pay no mind to what I say. I've been drinking all day long. I just wanna hold you while we dance to this song. I just wanna hold you, just wanna hold you while we dance to this song. Walking a gray line in a world that's black and white. Wondering why things they did not turn out quite right. Please believe me, please don't leave me. I said I'm sorry, didn't you hear me? The rain, the rain, the rain is falling slow. It's cold, we know. We're standing in it too. You're there, your hair is soaking wet. Please take my jacket. Take it. Please believe me. Please don't leave me. I said I'm sorry. Didn't you hear me? Please believe me. Please don't leave me now. I said I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry. Didn't you hear me? The rain, the rain, the rain is falling slow. It's cold, we know. We're standing in it too. You're there, your hair is soaking wet. Please take my jacket. You look better in it anyway. You look better in it anyway. Just take it. Just take it. Watching you go through it. You're living, you're loving, you're laughing, you're playing, you're singing, you're dancing in the dark. You're dancing in the dark. I said I'm sorry. You're dancing in the dark. Dancing in the dark. I said I'm sorry. You're dancing in the dark.
Sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
As the world watches and listens in horror, the peaceful pro-democracy demonstration in China comes to a violent and bloody end. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Wolves hiding nearby, whispering do or die around me. You say your last good night while I begin
There is another very important phase of warfare. It has as its target not the body, but the mind of the enemy.
The target of psychological warfare is against the enemy's mind.
It is words and ideas.
The ammunition used by Psywar.
Its mission is to influence the thoughts of the enemy soldier, and at the same time
is expected and encouraged to study foreign languages and the social sciences such as history, economics, and sociology. He must have a broad and sympathetic understanding of all phases of human experience.
gripping at my skin, the walls of night close in.
But the use of this force as an integral part of combat has now taken on new form.
As I wait to say my last goodbye.
These are the Psywar soldiers.
Right, guys, welcome to Caught Up. I'm Brian Riley. This is episode 34, part 2, because there was 2 articles to the whole Trader John McCain, and I just want to make sure that I got it all out together. One show would probably been too much. I ain't just human. That man can read, carry on, and probably fall asleep. But anyway, for those who are paying attention, so we'll get right to it real quick, shall we? Same thing as last night. We're going to go over these 2 articles by Joe Lang about John McCain, no name, and all that good stuff like that. So, Caught Up is an echo chamber for content creators. Almost all content on the show Caught Up is created by citizen journalists. I share content created by citizen journalists who I believe to be the best in finding facts buried deep into the abyss, or outlets who I believe to be best for verifiable information. We have to operate within their system, and we only have the information that they allow us to have. These individuals who nerd out on fact-finding missions and then added their opinion better inform me to make the best choice for me in this war of narratives is Resolute. The information war is a battle for your mind and ultimately compliance. I'm excited to share the content and hopes you'll turn off the mainstream media, who I believe is just another version of entertainment. And once again, welcome to Caught Up. Channel is Resolute Exposure. The show is Caught Up. I am Brian Riley, and welcome, guys. Last night's article, it's long. It's by Joe Lang. It's on Badlands Media. It's also on Substack. Actually, it's on Substack through Badlands Media. And you may find Joe Lang in other places, but his article is good. And he references several other articles that where he gets all of his information together, and we can come up with the best educated choices we can. If you know anything about John McCain, prior to these two articles, I knew him to be this way already based on the fact that he was shot down and then captured prisoner of war and all the details that go into that. And if you do some research about that, you'll find out that as much of a war hero as they tried to make him, he was really not a good guy, man. He did some things to expose some places, put troops in danger, that kind of thing. And all the while, was in some hotel. Anyway, just go do the research for yourself. So there's more truth to it when it was not. I believe he was pardoned. I think. I mean, okay, guys. Make sure we're talking here. This is this is the article. Um, he's not a war hero. It's the first one, and then just the very end here when it says the sum of all fears. There's more specific reasons that Q used the term spiderweb. Joe Lang uses references from Q in these two articles, which he believes holds a fair amount of truth into what's going on with these two specific articles about the John McCain. So it says Q used the term spiderweb. Q was trolling the enemy, letting them know uh, that we have everything. Take a look at the picture and the background on the building from Q Drop 1090 on the same day, April 8th, 2018. It says clipboard image and that number. Yeah. Location, exact location Q. Pictures leaked for this very moment. Who, what is not pictured. What forces shadowed. No name. No name beating John McCain. Contractors. Special contractors. What was delivered? Smiles. Exact location. Exact. Building E of Spiderweb. Spiderweb marker. Open source Q. Trump and the military already know the exact location where this picture was taken and why McCain went to Syria in the first place. They also know who all these people are in the picture. It says I'll reveal this in the next article. We already have it right here. Next article. Transparency. Um, Yeah, the Prince Aloid. All right, man. There's Hay. Real Ed Reno. All right. Talking a little John McCain, Real Ed Reno. Talking about his treasonous, traitorous ways. But anyway, the last article goes into, what is it? What's the guy's name? Forgive me, I got an East Tennessee education. But he's Prince. Goodness. Of course, you could find it when you didn't need it. Our lead. Prince Our lead. Prince Al-Walid. That's who the dude is, and all of this stuff. So I went through the article yesterday. This is the new one: transparency and prosecution. So, in the last article also talks about John McCain not having cancer or doing the brain surgery thing. I don't know that to be true or not, but like I said, this is an article by Joe Lang. It's August 15th, 2024. The other one's in July. It says, this feature is a follow-up to He's Not a War Hero, and is best read with the context in mind that Nuremberg-type trials are coming to America. Are they? Are there going to be military tribunals? Will we ever enter the justice phase? How long must we endure going through the exposure phase in this war before we see real justice delivered to all these traitors? So I'm big on the exposure phase. We've been in the exposure phase ever since Joey the Sponge was put into his position in the world's most expensive healthcare facility in Maryland called Washington, D.C., and the White House. And so he's been a sponge. He's either soaked it all up or he's exposed it all. But he's been exactly what we needed to wake people up. Everything he's done, everything he's undone, whatever the case may be, he's been perfect. And he's been a part of the exposure phase. The exposure phase is the most important aspect of this war, in my opinion, which I totally agree. The truth is, what is going to set the entire world free? The truth will not only reveal all of the corruption, it will expose all of the evil too. But more importantly, unless all of the corruption and treason is revealed to the people, we will have no chance to prevent this from happening again in the future. All of the evidence of the crimes must be exposed so that there is no question that when justice comes, it is well deserved. That is exactly what Trump has been doing ever since Joey was put into place. He was exposing all the crimes and the evidence so that there was no question that when justice comes, it is well deserved. There's a plan in place and we must be patient. Justice is coming and it's a huge part of the plan. How do I know? It's promised according to Joe from a Q drop in 2816. It says declassification of all requested documents plus more will occur. This is not a game. Do not let personal emotional desires do it now. Now, what is it taking so long? Now, take over. Logical thinking strategy should always be applied. Game theory. We all want to see equal justice under the law. New threats by SDNY, AS, and MW. SDY is Southern District of New York. I'm not exactly sure what AS and MV is, or MW. Sorry. In an effort to delay, prevent, release, insurance extensions will fail. Transparency is the only way forward. Define the following: treason, sedition, subversion, conspiracy to commit. Do you understand and fully appreciate the gravity of the situation? Do you understand and fully appreciate what POTUS endures each and every single day? You got to remember, Trump was in office at this time. He loves his country. He loves you. We must stand together in this fight. There's evil in this world. There's darkness in this world. There are those in power who wish to control and enslave you, to keep you sedated, to keep you unaware, to keep you blind. This will be our timetable, and we will deliver transparency and prosecution. There is simply no other way except one: Q. So if you're into Q, like I said yesterday or in previous shows, not into Q. I'm not gonna say I'm not a fan of it. I'm just not into it, But there's some guys that are, and apparently Joe Lang is, and he's made it much of his article or part of it. But it's fine. I'm happy with all the information that's out there, and it's up to us to discern what is complete and real. So it says transparency and prosecution. There is simply no other way. We all want to see equal justice under the law. This is a promise, and justice has always been a huge part of the plan. But the people must be shown why certain specific individuals, many of whom they have looked up to and admired, deserve justice. Their crimes must be exposed first, and I'm thinking that's exactly what's been going on for quite some time. Their crimes have been exposed. Look what happened yesterday with the release of the was it the GOP? Anyway, the impeachment thing. Why they didn't act on it is amazing, and that they didn't, because that meant that Joe Biden would no longer be in office, and then where would our sponge be? Our 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 gentleman that's exposing it all, and all that good stuff. So their crimes must be exposed first. My hope is in this article is to prove to you that the justice part of the plan is coming, and that there is no stopping it. And I'm going to lay out the case for treason and sedition by many known players who were Prince Al Walid puppets, and then show you why I believe justice is just around the corner. Right? He talks about Obama, the Clintons, John Kerry, obviously McCain, all being the puppet under this guy, and this guy who was, I believe, arrested, detained by Prince, Saudi Arabia at the moment, whose name I have forgotten. I'm sorry. John McCain is one of the major players and was involved in many things. He is the worst kind of traitor. He's a backstabber who has painted himself as a war hero and a patriot with the help of his allies and controls the media. I ended the last article with this Q drop 1090 from April 8th, 2018, and it has a picture of 4 individuals plus McCain, and we went over that at the beginning. It says, we know everything. We have all the evidence of treason. We know the real reason that McCain was in Syria, meeting with these so-called rebel leaders back in May of 2013. Don't miss the important breadcrumbs in this drop. Who, what is not pictured. What forces shadowed, no name. Contractors, special contractors. Who are the special contractors that were providing security for McCain in Syria? Q knows all the details and told us exactly who they are. Have you ever heard of Eric Prince and Blackwater? Yes, we have. From the very next Q drop 1091 from April 8, 2018, it says, which we already read, www.political.com. Blackwater CEO Eric Prince was CIA asset, Hotmail think double. Why are we confirming this publicly? Why now? Q. What forces shadowed no name? Contractors, special contractors. Q told us it was Blackwater. According to Politico, and you can go read this Vanity Fair profile of Blackwater. Now, when I first read that, go read the Vanity Fair profile of Blackwater CEO. I thought, wow, the hell does Vanity Fair got to do with it? It almost made me stop and think, the hell's Joe writing? But thank God I continued. Until today, he reportedly has resigned. Eric Prince says he was CIA asset for the past 6 years before he claims he was thrown under the bus. Eric Prince was a valuable asset working for the CIA for 6 years. Then he claims they threw him under the bus. There were charges filed against him, and they tried to bankrupt him with lawsuits, just like they tried to do General Michael Flynn. According to Vanity Fair, but the truth about Prince may be orders of magnitude stranger than fiction. For the past 6 years, he appears to have led an astonishing double life. Publicly, he has served as Blackwater CEO and chairman privately. Privately and secretly, he's been doing the CIA bidding, helping to craft, fund, and execute operations ranging from inserting personnel into denied areas, places U.S. intelligence has trouble penetrating, to assembling hit teams targeting Al Qaeda members and their allies. Prince, according to the sources with knowledge of his activities, have been working as a CIA asset, in a word, as a spy. While his company was busy gleaming more than $1.5 billion in government contracts, remember, it's Blackwater, between 01 and 09 by acting, among other things, as an overseas Praetorian guard for the CIA and State Department officials, Prince became a Mr. Fix-It in the war on terror. his access and paramilitary forces, weapons, and aircraft, and his indefatigable ambition, the very attributes that have galvanized his critics, also made him extremely valuable, some say, to U.S. intelligence. Eric Prince was a CIA shadow asset because he specialized in certain areas that were mostly hidden from the public. He's been doing the CIA's bidding, helping to craft, fund, and execute operations ranging from inserting personnel into denied areas, places U.S. intelligence has trouble penetrating. When John McCain traveled to Syria to meet these rebel leaders back in May of 2013, it was Eric Prince and Blackwater who escorted him. Into and out of Syria, even though we had no diplomatic relations with Syria at the time. Blackwater provided McCain security on the trip and shadowed his every move. But why did Q say think double when referring to Eric Prince in the Vanity Fair article? The writer said that Prince was living a double life. Is that what Q was referring to? I don't think so at all. Did you see what Q said in the drops right after saying think double? Why are we confirming this publicly? Why now? Remember, Q at the time was trolling John McCain along with the enemy by mentioning spiderweb, saying that they knew the exact location of his meeting in Syria. The reason that Q was confirming Eric Prince's Blackwater as a special contractor during McCain's first trip to Syria and saying think double was because Eric Prince had flipped and was giving all the evidence of McCain's treason, giving up all the evidence. He no longer worked for the CIA. He was now a double agent and became one of Trump's biggest supporters. In case you doubt me, the very next Q drop on the same day was used to troll John McCain. The enemy, even more, the enemy has been following the Q drops from the beginning, and this drop proved to them that we have everything. We are going to expose everything to the American people. Panic in D.C. Once again, shows that a picture, but this time it looks like there's a woman and what appears to be a photographer. It says we love phones. No name should know better. We love phones. Okay. Q is trolling McCain. No name. The Q drop revealed a similar picture from the same meeting McCain had in Syria, but there were two people circled in the picture. This picture was taken with a cell phone, and the cell phone can be accessed. Military intelligence captures all electronic data and could have gotten this evidence from whoever's cell phone this picture was taken from. McCain wanted everyone to focus on the man next to him in the picture wearing the white shirt and glasses. Who is he? His name is General Salim Idris. Damn. So his name is General Salim Idris, and he leads the Supreme Military Council of the Free Syrian Army. McCain wanted him to be the moderate face of the freedom fighters that he was meeting with while seeking military intervention and funding in order to topple Bashar al-Assad. McCain was trying to garner sympathy for these rebel leaders from the American people. See, when we talk about things are an exposure, when we talk about trying to the narrative, and right here's what that is. John McCain was trying to get the American people to garner sympathy for these rebel leaders. Wait till you find out who the hell these rebel leaders were. You'll never guess. This helps us better understand why Q didn't want to even call McCain by his name, because he's the worst kind of traitor. Q lists the people in this picture from the drop. Number 1 is Abu Mosa, ISIS press officer. Number 2, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, head of ISIS. Number 3 is Senator John McCain, Republican of Arizona. Number 4 is Muhammad Nur, Syrian terrorists. Number 5 is Mustafa, the SETF, which is Syrian something. Something. Anyway, fighters. Oh, Emergency Task Force. My bad. Syrian Emergency Task Force. It's quite the Kodak moment, right? McCain was meeting with the head of ISIS and al-Baghdadi and all those other people. And here is the other picture in the Q drop. And guess what is going on in the back of that picture? What do you guys see there? U.S. aid. U.S. aid, right? We got those 2 terrorists, maybe 3. So it says both pictures include the ICE press secretary Abu Mosa. But why did Q say see the spider web? Q is telling us to look at the background of the second picture. And what do you see on the walls in the background? The first picture has spider webs. The second picture has a label on the walls. The material for those walls was provided by USAID. As I mentioned in a previous article, USAID is a CIA front group through the State Department. Q was showing us that taxpayers' money is funding ISIS in Syria, which is a CIA terrorist group. We are funding our enemies, and I believe McCain promised them a lot more money on this trip. Look at this picture. John McCain, and then you got al-Baghdadi directly across from him, right? Yeah. That guy helped set up the whole meeting in Syria is the guy sitting next to McCain with the white t-shirt on wearing the scarf. His name is Mustafa. Q told us he was important and dig into his background and history. Dig. Social media contacts work for who? Access level, find all pics bigger than you know. One example, Juan Q. He's bigger than we know. Q compared him to Juan brothers. Who is he? Why is he so important? Can you see the flag lapel pin that McCain was wearing? It wasn't American. It was a Syrian rebel flag. Maybe true. I don't know. I couldn't see it. Mustafa is pictured in the Q drop standing with McCain next to the photographer. He's described as being in trusted, close proximity. Who is Mustafa? He's a Syrian activist, a member of the Government Relations Committee on the Coalition for a Democratic Syria. And so he was a member of the Government Relations Committee supporting Syria, and he was a lobbyist for ISIS. According to World Bank, Mustafa is currently the executive director for Syrian Emergency Task Force, SEFT, political director of the United for a Free Syria, serves on the Government Relations Committee to the Coalition for Democratic Syria. Former staffer for U.S. Congressman Vic Snyder and U.S. Senator Blanche Lincoln, Mustafa spent 4.5 years working in Congress before leaving to work briefly with Egypt's U.S.-based opposition. Do you believe this shit? This guy was in Congress. Mustafa actually worked as a staffer in Congress for several years before leaving to work briefly with Egypt's U.S.-based opposition. Can you say Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt? The Oman brothers weren't the only ones working for Congress with Muslim brother ties. Obama filled his administration with their sympathizers. More from the World Bank. While working with the SETF, Mr. Mustafa had led delegations to the Syrian border for journalists and lawmakers, including U.S. Senator McCain's visit with the Northern Storm Brigade inside Syria and U.S. Representative Kinzinger, and holding visits with various Free Syrian Army commanders in Antakya, Turkey in 2014. I don't know. Did these guys really show up? It's hard to imagine if they did. It's possible, but maybe not. The Northern Storm Brigade is the Al Qaeda offshoot in Syria that Mohammed Noor was affiliated with, and he was the one circled with the camera pictured with McCain and Mustafa at the meeting. But did you catch the name of the other congressman mentioned in this article, who's also tied to the terrorist group in Syria? Kinzinger, another backstabbing Republican traitor, just like John McCain. Kinzinger, before Trump was elected, but he quickly became one of Trump's biggest critics. Q said, "Those with the most to lose are the loudest, and those who knowingly broke the law in a coordinated effort, treason, are the most vocal crimes against humanity." Trump's loudest critic all seems to be the biggest traitors. That's not a coincidence. Q purposely emphasized the word knowingly and connected it to treason. Why? Knowingly is a legal term. Seditious conspiracy. The federal crime of seditious conspiracy is outlined in 18 U.S. Section Code, subsection 230.84, involves whoever knowingly and willfully advocates, bets, advises, or teaches the duty, necessity, desirability, or proprietary of overthrowing or destroying the government of the United States. Here, knowingly emphasizes that the accused person intentionally and deliberately promoted or supported the overthrow or destruction of the government rather than acting out of ignorance or mistake. Both McCain and Kinzinger are traitors. They were both connected to Mustafa, who led them on trips to Syria. Mustafa was the executive director for the Syrian Emergency Task Force. Yep, SETF is United States based. Whoa. The Syrian Emergency Task Force, the SETF, is a United States based 501c3 organization established in March of 2011 to support Syrian opposition. SETF advocates solidarity with the Syrian rebels to inform and educate the American public and its representatives about their struggle. Got to be kidding me. No wonder we can't get things done. So it was founded in 2011. Headquarters is Washington, D.C., and that dude's the executive director, and he coordinated McCain's meeting in Syria. Did you see where his nonprofit had its headquarters? Washington, D.C. You ever heard of the name Elizabeth O'Baggy? That's her in the background. According to Shobot Foundations, Elizabeth O'Baggy is listed as a political director for the Syrian Emergency Task Force in Group's Washington, D.C. office. During a Senate hearing this week, John McCain, perhaps the most vocal supporter of the Syrian rebels in Congress, pointed to an op-ed by the 26-year-old O'Baggy that appeared in the Wall Street Journal on August 30th. Nobody had ever heard of it before, and suddenly there was an expert analyst on Syria who was being invited on news shows and writing op-ed pieces for the Wall Street Journal. McCain then used the op-ed piece in the Wall Street Journal as evidence in a Senate hearing in order to pressure Congress to fund these freedom fighters. See what I'm talking about? They made this individual up, this lady, Baggy. They made her an expert. He read her material for Congress based on the fact that he claimed that she was an expert. It's just the rabbit trail gets bigger than that, right? It just is what it is. It's a long article, guys. Very much so. Hear about Baghdad wife, military history fandom. Where was Baghdadi getting all of his money? John McCain traveled to Syria to meet ISIS. Was Baghdad in Syria at the same time as McCain? Yeah, in the same month. Don't miss the key point that after followers of Baghdadi publicly executed 3 Syrian officers, 2013, Baghdadi traveled from Iraq to Syria. Absolutely crazy. Yep, absolutely crazy. Well, guys, that article is by Joe Lane, and it's called Transparency Prosecution. And it goes into great detail about John McCain and his traitorous, treasonous ways. And I'm just done reading it for the night. It's just too long of an article, so you can find it on Substack, Badlands Media, Joe Lane. You can get all the information that you need from there. Also, were you guys aware that Trump did a interview? Check this out right here. What's this? This guy's called Theo Vaughn. 2.89 million subscribers. Trump did an interview with this guy. Yep, doing some stuff. He's getting out there doing these podcasts, ain't he? Oh, Mr. Trump. I haven't listened to it. It's 57 minutes long, according to this. Found it on X. Where was it at? Found it on X. Hello. Hello. There we go. Right here. It says Trump War Room, Theo Vaughn. That dude. 1.1 million followers, followed by Just Human. Does an interview with Donald Trump, man. Apparently, you guys can't hear that. going to require me doing some stuff. Let's see. Anyway. Anyway. What was important to know here was that John McCain was not who he said he was. That media pumped him up to be a war hero. He's not. Prince Alaouid, who was eventually detained and arrested by the prince now, whose name I have forgotten, and all their players, and all the information that they had, all the money, everything, it's all there. And whenever we're allowed to be a part of that exposure phase, the rest of it, then we'll get the other parts of the information to put this big ass puzzle piece together that we got going on. So, short show tonight, guys. I'm tired. Those articles are long. Substack, Badlands Media, Joe Lang. You can find them there. They're extremely good. John McCain's not your friend. He's a fucking traitor. And y'all have a good evening.
My heart, pumping all day long, getting me to morning when darkness comes. My heart, ooh. I'll bear it. It takes so long to mend. It's harder to lean on this shell of a man. You found love in the Lord, your family and your friends. Could you please pray for me that I can find the same within? My heart, pumping all day long. When I'm gonna pick my bones up and walk through the storm I made. I'm gonna head on home before it gets too late. I turn it upside down and be thankful for what he gave. I'm gonna pick my bones up and walk through the storm I made. I'm gonna hold on tight to you when it gets rough. I'm gonna lay down all my cards and call your bluff. Because the one thing in this moonlit room I trust is the beauty of a smile and the warmth inside your touch. Oh, there's nothing like a love, nothing like a love of a woman. The way she holds you tight, way she holds you tight when you need it most. It gives you just that little bit, just to keep on living. That's when you find out what you're made of. I'm gonna pick my bones up and walk through the storm I made. I'm gonna head on home before it gets too late. I turn it upside down and be thankful for what he gave. I'm gonna pick my bones up and walk through the storm I made. I'm gonna hold on tight to you when it gets rough. Yeah. I'm gonna lay down all my cards and call your bluff. Because the one thing in this moonlit room I trust is the beauty of your smile and the warmth inside your touch. Oh, there's nothing like love, nothing like love of a woman. The way she holds you tight, way she holds you tight when you need it most. It gives you just that little bit, just to keep on living. And that's when you find out what you're made of. That's when you find out. That's when you find out what you're made of. My heart is like a lighthouse, just trying to get you home. Your soul is like an anchor, just dragging you along. Pay no mind to what I'm saying. I've been drinking all day long. I just wanna hold you while we dance to this song. We were younger when we first laid eyes. I was walking up in heaven's skies. How about you? Did you feel it too? I don't believe in love at first sight. Now you make me wanna change my mind. How about you? Oh, how about you? My heart is like a lighthouse, just trying to get you home. Your soul is like an anchor, just dragging you along. Pay no mind to what I say. I've been drinking all day long. I just wanna hold you while we dance to this song. Trying to get you home. Your soul is like an anchor, just dragging you along. Pay no mind to what I'm saying. I've been drinking all day long. I just wanna hold you while we dance to this song. I just wanna hold you, just wanna hold you while we dance to this song. In a world that's black and white, wondering why things they did not turn out quite right. Please believe me, please don't leave me. I said I'm sorry. The rain is falling slow. It's cold, we know. We're standing in it too. You're there, your hair is soaking wet. Please take my jacket. Take it. Please believe me. Please don't leave me. I said I'm sorry. Didn't you hear me? Please believe me. Please don't leave me now. I said I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry. Didn't you hear me? The rain, the rain, the rain is falling slow. It's cold, we know. We're standing in it too. You're there, your hair is soaking wet. Please take my jacket. You look better in it anyway. You look better in it anyway. You're living, you're loving, you're laughing, you're playing, you're singing, you're dancing in the dark. You're dancing in the dark. I said I'm sorry. You're dancing in the dark. You're dancing in the dark. I said I'm sorry. You're dancing in the dark. Wind is always at my back. My back is always strapped with these things that I call my own. Life, it isn't always grand, but when you finally take that stand, you become a man. You needed to You meant everything to me. While you left, I could not see. I guess people just do what they want. Yeah. Time, it goes faster every day, and my heart, it leads the way, while the future, it fades into a memory. Is always at my back. My back is always strapped with these things that I call my own. My heart pumping on.